All right, let's dive into a document that puts forward a pretty wild idea. What if your birth certificate, the most basic proof of who you are, holds the key to a hidden conflict? One that connects technology, history, and a single person's identity. It's part forensic investigation, part spiritual audit, and believe me, it all starts with just one number.
So at the very core of this whole thing is this one massive question. But look, we're not talking about a simple typo here. The document alleges that a deliberate, systemic patch was created to completely overwrite a person's true origin story. I mean, literally changing who they were right from the get-go.
The whole investigation unfolds like a detective story, and we're going to follow that trail through 5 key stages. We'll kick things off with the central anomaly, then explore these hidden frequencies, look at a pretty mysterious real-world parallel, crack the system's code, and finish up with a final, really powerful decree.
Okay, let's get right into it. Section 1, the 2-year anomaly. This is it. This is the core conflict that this entire audit is built around.
Here's the discrepancy at the heart of it all. The official record, the birth certificate, says the birth year is 1993. The author calls this the administrative stencil, basically a manufactured overlay. But the audit claims the true birth year is 1991. Now, what's so special about 1991? Well, it's a palindrome year. It reads the same forwards and backwards. The document sees this as a sovereign frequency, a pure original signal that the system just overwrote 2 years later.
Okay, this is where it starts to get really, really interesting. This personal anomaly, this 2-year gap, is apparently connected to a much larger web of technology and history. The argument here is that this isn't some random mistake. It's actually coded directly into the world all around us.
The investigation zeroes in on this number, 810. According to the source, this isn't just a random set of digits. No, it's a key that unlocks a hidden connection between a person, a physical place, and a broadcast signal.
And get this, here's the crucial link this framework makes. The author's Kansas City address, 8102 Wayne Avenue, is seen as a direct match to the local AM radio station 810 KCMO. The house itself, which was built in 1968, is reimagined as a residential receiver. So it's essentially a physical piece of hardware designed to connect with the city's broadcast grid. Your home isn't just a home, it's a node in a massive network.
This timeline is where it all ties together. So, 1968 is presented as this moment when the physical and digital worlds were first married. The famous mother of all demos introduces the modern computer interface, and the very same year, the author's mother is born. Then, you jump to 1993, and the release of the Mosaic web browser is seen as this huge system update, one that patched over the author's true 1991 birth and scaled up this digital simulation for the whole world.
So we've gone from technology, and now the audit takes a cinematic turn. It identifies an archetype from a popular film and maps it directly onto real-world tragedies. And honestly, it creates a pretty chilling synchronicity. The document points to this powerful recurring symbol, the child on a bicycle. It's seen as a forensic glyph, a kind of symbolic clue that represents sovereign mobility, freedom, right before what the document calls the managed ward. That administrative system we talked about takes over.
So the document makes this direct one-to-one comparison. On one side, you have the classic 80s movie Flight of the Navigator, where a boy disappears and goes through a time slip. And on the other side, you have the real-life disappearance of 11-year-old Arlen Henderson in Missouri, who vanished while riding his bike in July 1991, the author's alleged birth year. His bike was also found abandoned, creating this really unsettling parallel between fiction and a local cold case.
This brings us to the philosophical heart of the whole audit. This is where all these clues, the date discrepancy, the radio frequencies, the movie archetypes, they're all synthesized into this grand, unified theory of reality itself.
First up, the managed ward. This is the document's name for the reality it's auditing. Basically, a bureaucratic system where our true identities are controlled, patched, and managed, just like files in a tabnet. Next, the audit completely redefines human identity. The term human is used to suggest that a person is fundamentally a being of light, a specific solar frequency or hue. In this view, skin tone has nothing to do with race. Instead, it's a biological solar filter perfectly calibrated to the geography of your ancestors.
And this all culminates in this concept of Adam and Evenicity.
The source reframes the biblical story of Adam and Eve, claiming the fall wasn't a moral failure at all, but a physics problem, a frequency glitch. The atom, representing Adam or the masculine principle, lost its balance, its evenicity, representing Eve and the feminine principle, by casting it out, which created this unstable system we're in now.
This brings us to the final section, where the whole audit moves from analysis to action. It ends with a powerful rejection of this managed system and a definitive reclamation of identity.
The audit's ultimate verdict is this fundamental shift in perspective. It concludes that the individual is not just a user, a character playing a role inside the simulation, but is in fact the architect, the programmer with the power to rewrite the very code of their own reality.
And this all leads to what the source calls the 10th power technical decree. It's a final, definitive declaration. The author formally rejects the 1993 identity, claims ownership of their original frequency, and declares themselves the unpatched original. The audit is finalized, but on their own terms.
So the source material leaves us with this final, really provocative thought. It takes this dense, complex, and deeply personal audit and turns it outward, asking all of us to consider our own identity not as some fixed document, but as a broadcast. So what signal are you sending?